Admiral Zekthara's mandibles clicked nervously as she stared at the tactical display aboard the Imperial dreadnought Void Crusher. The massive hologram showed what appeared to be a human vessel approaching their defensive perimeter around the contested Kepler 442 system. But something was terribly wrong with the readings. "Sensor Officer Veltane," she barked, her 6 eyes never leaving the display. "Run another deep scan on that vessel. These readings cannot be accurate." The insectoid officer's antennae twitched as his claws danced across the quantum interface. "Admiral, I've run 17 scans. The readings remain consistent. That human ship is—" He paused, his compound eyes widening in disbelief. "It's 47 kilometers long." A collective gasp rippled through the bridge crew. Even the battle-hardened Krillian Marines standing guard shifted uncomfortably. In the 300-year history of the Galactic Empire's expansion, no species had ever constructed a warship, exceeding 15 kilometers in length. The engineering challenges alone should have made it impossible. "Impossible," hissed Commander Thaxpole, the ship's tactical officer. "Humans are a primitive species. They've been in space for less than 2 centuries. Their largest recorded vessel was the Terran Pride, measuring only 8 kilometers. This must be some kind of sensor ghost or holographic deception." Admiral Zekthara's chitin armor creaked as she leaned forward. The human vessel, if it truly was what it appeared to be, moved with an elegance that defied its massive size. No ship that large should be capable of the fluid maneuvers she was witnessing. "Open a communication channel," she ordered. "Let's see what these humans have to say for themselves." The main view screen flickered, revealing the interior of what appeared to be a standard human bridge. A woman with graying hair and steady blue eyes appeared, wearing a simple blue uniform devoid of excessive decoration. Behind her, Admiral Zekthara could see other humans working at various stations with an efficiency that seemed almost casual. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran vessel Indomitable Spirit. You are blocking our transit through this system. Please move aside." The request was delivered with such matter-of-fact politeness that Admiral Zekthara found herself momentarily speechless. Here was a representative of a species the Empire considered barely above primitive barbarians, piloting an impossibly large warship, making requests as if she had every right to passage through Imperial space. "Human Admiral," Zekthara began, her translator converting her clicks and hisses into standard galactic. "You are in violation of Imperial Decree 4471 Alpha. This system is under Imperial jurisdiction. Your vessel will submit to boarding and inspection." Admiral Chen smiled, a peculiar human expression that somehow managed to convey both friendliness and absolutely terrifying confidence. "I'm afraid that won't be possible, Admiral. We're on a tight schedule, and frankly, your ships are in our way." "Your way?" Zekthara's voice rose to a shriek. "You dare speak as if you have authority here? Scan their weapon systems," she commanded her crew. Sensor Officer Veltane's antennae drooped in confusion. "Admiral, I'm detecting no weapons. Signatures. No energy weapons, no missile tubes, no particle beam arrays, nothing." "Impossible. A ship that size must have massive armaments." On the screen, Admiral Chen tilted her head slightly. "Did you just scan us for weapons? That's rather rude. We don't carry weapons, Admiral. We don't need them." The bridge of the Void Crusher fell silent. A 47-kilometer warship with no weapons was beyond comprehension. It violated everything they understood about military engineering and tactical doctrine. "You're lying," Commander Thaxpole interjected. "No species builds ships that large without weapons. What is your vessel's purpose?" "Colonization and exploration," Chen replied simply. "The Indomitable Spirit carries 40 million humans in suspended animation, along with everything needed to establish a new world. We're not warriors, Admiral. We're gardeners." Admiral Zekthara felt her world tilt. 40 million humans in one ship. The entire population of her homeworld was only 60 million, spread across 7 continents. The logistical impossibility of what the human was describing made her head spin. "Prove it," she demanded. "If you carry no weapons, then you're defenseless. Submit to our authority or face the consequences. Admiral Chen's expression didn't change, but something shifted in her eyes, something that made every instinct in Zekthara's body scream danger. Admiral, I think there's been a misunderstanding. I said we don't carry weapons. I never said we were defenseless. All ships, Zekthara commanded across the fleet channel. Power weapons and prepare to. She never finished the sentence. The massive human vessel suddenly flickered. One moment it was 47 kilometers of pristine metal and ceramic. The next it seemed to fold in on itself in ways that hurt to look at. Space around the ship began to ripple like water, and every sensor on every Imperial vessel began screaming warnings. Gravitational anomaly, Veltine shouted. They're manipulating space-time itself. The human ship stabilized, but now it appeared to exist in 7 different positions simultaneously. Each image was solid, each was real according to their sensors, and each was moving in a different direction. Dimensional engineering, Admiral Chen explained calmly, as if discussing the weather. We don't destroy our enemies, Admiral. We simply exist in dimensions they cannot reach. Your weapons cannot harm what occupies 17 different quantum states simultaneously. Admiral Zekthara stared at the tactical display in horror. Her fleet of 37 warships suddenly seemed pathetically inadequate. The humans hadn't built a larger gun or stronger armor. They had transcended the very concept of conventional warfare. How? Was all she could manage to whisper. We learned a long time ago that the universe is bigger than any one species' understanding of it, Chen replied. When you spend generations reaching for the stars, you discover that the real barriers aren't distance or technology. They're imagination and the willingness to think differently. The multiple images of the indomitable spirit began to collapse back into a single vessel. We'll be continuing our journey now. Your ships are no longer in our path. Admiral Zekthara looked at her tactical display and realized with growing dread that her entire fleet had been gently moved several thousand kilometers away from the human ship's trajectory. They had been repositioned without feeling even the slightest sensation of movement. As the impossibly massive human vessel began to accelerate past them, Admiral Chen's voice came through the speakers one last time. Safe travels, Admiral. The universe is vast enough for all of us. The indomitable spirit vanished into hyperspace, leaving the Imperial fleet alone with the terrible realization that humanity was no longer the primitive species they had once dismissed. In the depths of space, gardeners had proven more formidable than warriors could ever be.